welcome back to Swag and Sorcery. And between the episodes, I've been doing a little bit more grinding, as it is one of those games about loot and grinding, so I went and purchased two more heroes. We've got Aiden and we've got Kazuki, and both of those are trained up to level 15 and then trained up our original set of heroes up to at least level 20 with Eddie up to 26. Now, there's a few things here is that you can see just how expensive it's actually getting to unlock each of these people. However, we do have them. We don't have these two new heroes any gear yet, so we should actually get that. However, in the meantime, a few things that just popped up, sort of as I was actually crafting this. One is that for the middle levels at least, this idea of using a gear that generates gold for you is actually a good one. Don't think that's going to be the case all the way into high level, but if we have a look at Noel now, for instance, now I've got him equipped with a wolf's hat. Okay, that gets him 29 gold, at least with this particular role for this gear, because it's all randomized. And then he doesn't have anything else, but let's just go forward to, who is it? Mona? I don't think I've crafted the third bit of gear yet. No. We have the shotgun, which gets 97 gold. The hat, which gets 48 gold in this case, because it's rolled one level higher, and that's pretty good. So 150 gold per hit on any enemy. And then we also have a space to take something else. Now I'm not sure if I have the stuff available for the space armor, and that will be the next thing we actually need to craft. No, we actually do want the cluck anyway, because that increases agility. But I want the space armor. Did I already purchase it? Looks like it's not there, so I probably did. Let's just take a look in armor. And are you in there? Nope. Are you in the other one? Let's see if I can try and find this thing. Too many recipes. There we go. Space armor. So that gives you 10 to 50 gold whenever you hit an enemy. However, it does need 10 of this jelly stuff. Now that jelly stuff only comes from this one area, and it's the middle area of the three that we get in the latest tier. And you can see the health of these characters is much higher than it was last episode. I'll spend a few hours just going through and increasing their stamina, increasing their level of gear, and of course their level. So they've got much higher stats, and of course they regenerate as they actually go through things. So you see I've got 2 of that stomach jelly just on this one trip. So that's not too bad, but we can do better. So that can go away, and then we can also continue to send our other characters back through the previous tier of stuff, just as we were doing. So they're going to go off by themselves, and our heroes will come back here. Now, one thing I did want to mention is Moriko, or yes, we did pronounce it right this time. So Moriko has got a few things here that's worthwhile saying. One is her intelligence. So we've got some gear all that increase her intelligence. So we want to get that intelligence as high as possible. You see this one has rolled 69 stamina, 18 intelligence. That money jinx, which you'll get as a matter of course by going through the quests, is actually a good one to actually go for. You get at least that amount of stamina, and that increases health by a huge amount. But more importantly, intelligence, and not intelligence. However, the important point is that has increased her intelligence. If we just move that over, 78 plus 124, so that's 194, 202, something like that. So if we just grab her and move her across over to, say, here, our magic store, and take a look at the crafting efficiency now. That's up to 72%. We ideally want her intelligence, or a primary stat for whatever we're using her to craft with, in this case intelligence, above 250 at least. We've only got back to 200 so far, but that just means that every time we craft now, we get much more of a chance to actually get an upgrade from our previous tier. So that's useful for Moriko, but we're going to do the same thing for Eddie. So for example, if we look at here now, this is up to 60%. He's not quite as high, but the important, well, not the important thing here, the hard thing about crafting with strength is that you can't really find a lot of gear that will actually help you, not by huge amounts anyway. If we just look at the equipment screen for Eddie, we have stamina. That's easy enough to find. Money jinx again, the necklace. Moon diadem gives you intelligence. Well, it's a random stat roll basically. And that's the main thing you have to watch out for with strength. You're just looking for random stat rolls, not the one that's guaranteed, just the other ones. And anything with strength, then you will probably want to put on. So you see here, we've got some Armor of Suffering, we've got 29 strength there. And strength as a whole is 168 at the moment. Nowhere near as good as Orico. So we have to watch out for that. And then this is just the regen piece. So I can't really control that either, other than we can swap it out when we come back to town. That's not important right now. We've got some strength on this forged spear. So everything that we can possibly do to be able to help him craft better items. In particular, when we send them out to the Dark Ruins, that then enables us to go back in, go back over here and down further here somewhere. Or is it in here? It's in here. Is that skin and leather. So we have 19. So once we get one more of those, we'll just get some more dark leather from the other second tier area, and then we'll be able to craft, 4 or 5 of them. And every time we craft that, we can just sell the excess. However, one of these things you see over here, gourd support, is an item that's available, and it says, give 5 gourd supports. It's available from your fashion house, your swag store, and you can craft it. Now, it happens to sell really, really well. You see, these characters are already generating just passive income in the background, which we can use to reboost the levels, but just looking at levels, if you look at Eddie, for instance, and we say we want to give him some strength, just to give him 1 point of strength now, it will cost 5 grand. So it's getting really expensive. And to train him up by level also costs 5 grand. So if we do that, that will actually train him up by 2 strength, because that's one of his primary stats. Also, his agility will go up and his intelligence will go up, but not stamina. So if we just do that, they should both go up. Yep. And you'll see all of these are gains. Now, if we go up again, he'll still get 2 in strength, but only 1 in each of those. So we've got to take care as we go up, but we want to get him above 200, ideally above 250 as well. Now, unfortunately, gourd supports are actually pretty hard to make, mainly because they require these, the spiders. They're only found in the underground city area, and it takes, I think it takes like 30 of this chitin, because you need 2 of it per fabric, and then 15 fabric to make 1 of the gourd supports. So it is not easy whatsoever to actually make. So every time you get something like this, where you get 2 spiders, it's great. And you're going to basically reap your rewards once you come to crafting them. Speaking of crafting them, this is the recipe that requires that fabric. We have everything else we need, so we can hit craft. And we're just waiting for Noel to come free. He's the one with the most agility of all the heroes, so he can craft that quite easily. Whether that will actually come out with something good, on the other hand, is different entirely. So we're just going to go ahead and craft the rest of this stuff, adding it to the queue. And we did get a really, really good roll. Or it looks like we got at least 1 jump in quality, up to 2. So what do we get? We got 30% chance at the beginning of our move to heal the whole party by 35 points. Not bad. And when you take damage, everyone else is healed by 33. And strength. So this is really kind of nice, but it is 18,000. One thing I just wanted to check is, what is actually Eddie using? And will this actually be any better for him? Let's take a look. Eddie. He is using this strength spear. So if we have a look at this, it'll bring up his defense a little bit. His strength will drop. Oh no, strength will go up. That's actually even better. Is there any sort of downside to this? Less physical damage resistance, I guess, but less nature damage. But I guess it makes him tankier. Slightly less initial damage, 29 versus 36, but yeah, that'll make his strength even higher. We could sell it for 20 grand. So, versus 1700 for this. So if we have our gourd support here, if we just swap that back out, it says 1 out of 5. So you can always trade it in later for this quest, which will give you more stuff. However, in our case, this is going to give us more strength. We want as much strength as possible. So it's 170, 181 right now. So we want that up a little bit higher, but they're already pretty tanky. Now, these 2 characters have nothing on them at all other than these occasional just neck pieces that I've been using. So we can always reuse that in each of their cases, and just keep them on board. And just there's nothing here for us to actually sell. It might be nice if we actually get more of that kind of stuff, but we'll see how far that goes. So as we're going through adventuring, we're also getting passive recipes that I'm not having to buy from the store over here. Some of these recipes are going away because they're being picked up as they go through the adventures. So do bear that in mind. You don't have to buy stuff over here, but we do have 21 grand, so we can then push our characters even further if we want to. So let's just take a look. Eddie is, we're going to get 2 for this. So yeah, might be worth us trying to push this a little bit more. So let's get him once and twice and 3 times. Oh, that's getting horrid. 5,750 and 5,406 left. So he's level 30 now and should be pretty tanky. One thing to note though, it is also a long-term nice little background grinding game. And you'll see I've been going at this for a number of hours and this gauge has not got anywhere near the top. I've not gone through a boss in any of these 3 zones so far. So from this point it becomes a little bit, well, shall we say, a little bit grindy. However, Eddie should be pretty much be, well, he's rather special right now. He seems to be just healing the entire party. So we could move more people over into the party, but to be honest, the 2 of those are working together pretty well. One thing that I also actually took is the research. If we look along here, right in the middle, you'll see this field magic, and that increases maximum mana by 50 permanently. So it's worthwhile actually getting that. You'll see my mana at the top right here is up to 100 maximum, so I can cast 4 of those healing spells quite easily now once I actually just go over here to craft some of the mana buckets. We've got buckets, we've got pots, and we've got mana tubes. They're all basically depending on what tier of resources. This is the top tier, so we can craft 2 of those. And Moriko can actually do that once she gets, well, in fact, do it now. Whoops. I didn't want you to actually do that. I would rather chance it with Moriko, because occasionally you'll get a second output, but that's, I guess that's fine. Do we get any output? 95. Okay, I'll leave that alone for now. And we'll go from there. So, yeah, back off to the grind. Now, given that Eddie has got this 66% chance of getting high quality items, thought I'd shove a bunch of the resources for this Blade of Truth, which is just basically titanium and maple planks. And you can see we're getting much upgraded versions popping out of the crafting queue. So if we have a look in here, what are we getting from these? Second chance, not something well, they're all popping in at that. No, nothing I really want here other than getting all the money back from them. So we're just going to sell them all and getting up to 30 grand now, and we'll continue to sell them because these keep coming in. Although that one is actually a good one not to sell. We want this agility, just like the strength and the intelligence. We actually want to give that to Noel or whoever's our crafter for agility stuff. So let's just take a quick look at the equipment for these. And let's take a look at their stats. So let's look at the agility. So Aiden is new and has terrible agility. Kazuki, however, has 48 agility. If we go and look for leveling her up, so Kazuki, yep, she's going to get 2 agility for each level up that we actually do. So we could base her to be the agility one that stays in town while Noel goes out. So we don't have to keep swapping items backwards and forwards. However, for the moment, we can swap things backwards and forwards. So just go to Noel, go and get whichever one of these is the agility, and we'll swap that in. Okay, the shotgun we will be keeping. Let's get rid of the other sword so I'm not confusing the matter. Yep, there we go. And then Noel can then do the extra crafting here and potentially get more stuff. So he's up to 45% now. So that's pretty good. Not quite as good as we need to get it to, but enough to get started. So we'll just queue up lots more stuff, well, everything that we really can while he's doing this. And then we'll just swap it back and send him back out. Time for another character. We've got 30 grand spare, and I'll be using the money just to fill out our roster of heroes. It seems like we've only got 8 slots. So Rosaline comes in, and Rosaline is obviously going to be level 1. But it seems like it caps out at the actual total amount. That's good. that doesn't go up again. It's nice. I don't have to keep grinding huge amounts for this. So do we have any details about her? She starts out with higher intelligence, lower strength, and lower agility. So again, another intelligence character perhaps. Although I guess that depends if we just go into training for a second. What happens if we try and train her for level? She's going to gain intelligence, it looks like. So train and then watch. Other things on different levels will go up and down, but intelligence stays at 2. So that's basically what her character is looking for. Yeah, there we go. So we're down on gold. I'm not going to spend all of that. We'll just send them out and carry on going. So yeah, we've got a 7 out of our 8 slots filled. Presumably, if we go up to the final tier, we'll get more slots in there, or maybe more slots out here. We'll see as we go forward. And just to see how much gold we get for the higher level of recipes, one just popped in was this magic chandelier. Apparently, we're going to be able to use that to hit people with. But it's a level 19 recipe, so I want to see how much this actually sells for. It uses up 10 tested planks and only a few of this weak essence, and we have plenty of that available. So let's go and see how much that costs, because if it's going to just scale with level, I may well just want to just go and buy whatever the highest level recipes are in here, and there's lots of different stuff. So magic chandelier, that's only 10,000. So we did get more than that from other sources, so it's not quite what we're looking for. Again, we can get more agility. I would normally swap that out with Noel's stuff to get him even more of that stat, but he's using just the gold reaping gear. So what I may well do is give this sort of thing to one of our other characters once we've leveled them. It's going to take them a little while, but whichever one of those is actually better at Dex. So if we have a look at just the training menu, and this is going to be somewhat randomized for you, unfortunately. It's not going to be the same for every character. So Kazuki is looking like she's Dex agility based, and she's level 15. So technically, I guess we could look to level her a little bit more. This requires level 21 because it jumped up to quality levels. So I'm going to have to go and spend a little bit more on Kazuki before I start giving her stuff. But again, we should start gaining her agility and hopefully getting to a decent level once I craft all the individual pieces of gear. Now, at this point in the game, unfortunately, it takes a lot of combat to get between sort of major milestones. So, you know, I have lots of stuff to actually go in it. We have got to get to the last tier, but it takes longer and longer to actually get between the tiers. And unfortunately, I need to get these episodes out really quickly. So I'm going to have to leave this episode here. Even though this has been only about 15 minutes, towards 20 minutes maybe, it does represent a few hours of actual play. So don't be fooled. This isn't just 15 minutes of play. It does take quite a long time for each one of these. So what I may well do is step out the distance between these episodes so I can get more play in between them, and then show you just the progress as we actually get through that. And yeah, hopefully that will be good. I don't think we're far from really getting to the sort of end of this series. It's a nice little game. I think it's again from the makers of Graveyard Keeper. Lots of stuff to do in it. Randomized loot, always good loot shooting kind of thing. But, you know, that's probably as good as it actually gets, I think. At this point, we've unlocked all the features, and you're really just trying to get better gear at this point. Now, another game, if you like games like this that is about sort of looting, and you don't mind this old school look, one of the sort of games I'd recommend is looking at something called Chronicon. It's an action RPG, so like Diablo, but it's very much graphics like this, except almost pseudo 2D top-down kind of thing. Very overpowered sort of stuff that you get in it. Again, lots of random stuff. It is not, however, a passive game like this where you can just click and relax. It's a very, very hectic, well, Diablo-like game. You get the idea. So if you get the idea for looter shooter, then you get the idea for that. It's a looting action RPG. Speaking about looter shooters, Borderlands 3 is coming out later in the year, so I may well have a look at that when it comes out. I did like the previous games. But that's enough for now. I'll leave you here for this episode. We'll be probably back tomorrow with more Omni Factory, if I can get medium voltage to actually work properly. I had some problems with the distillery on that one. We'll come back to that later. And yeah, so I'll leave it here for now. Hopefully you enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up if you have, and we'll see you tomorrow for some more Omni Factory. As always, guys, thanks for watching.